What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are at Walmart and I saw these things on Instagram and I'm running in here to get these because I'm so excited about it. So they have well, I'll tell you more about it when we get inside the store. But Walmart has this new combo and I have to get it for y'all. I had to go catch some fish on it. So see y'all on the inside. Who remembers when we bought the kayak? They have some new ones. We're gonna have to come back and pick out a new one. I like that little paddle board or whatever right there. All right, boys, here it is. Then you get baits with your rod. These are my favorite combos. Two of them already sold. I was in here last night and I had to come back today because I didn't have my camera last night, but two of these things are already sold. So these things might not be here for too long. Pre-spooled with 14-pound line that's perfect for these deep crankbaits. Then you get like a bluegill pattern, an anno shad pattern. Let's see what else they got. See if they have any more specialty combos. Take a little quick walk around this little pop-up thing right here. I have no clue how much these cost. There's no price on them. Oh my. Dude, these things look sweet. Abu Garcia Vengeance. So this is like a different Vengeance reel. So I have the black one and it's all black and it's kind of shiny a little bit. This one's kind of like a gray, green, blue. I don't know. It's a dark gray, but it looks like it has a little bit of green in there too, like a drop of green. Oh, those two baits are going to be money too. I know we're going to be able to catch one on these. Oh, that's a big one. That is a big one. Dude, that's a big one. I think we're just gonna take this combo out to the pond. This is 14-pound Berkley Trilene too. We are pretty much in the money. All right, so I looked it up on Walmart's website. These things are like $75. So the reels normally $40, just the Vengeance reels, and those baits are $8 a piece. So I think that's a pretty good deal because these are, what are these, square bulls? Yeah, so you get two square bulls, 7-foot medium heavy, I'm guessing. Yeah, 7-foot medium heavy, and probably a 7:1 gear ratio reel, all for $71. This is a good one-stop shop, and then it comes with line too. That's the big kicker on it. And Berkley line is a pretty good, they make a pretty good quality line too. So we're gonna scoop this combo and then we're gonna go to the pond and try to catch some fish on it. $70. My big thing is the line. A lot of the line that comes on combos isn't that good, but we're gonna test this out. If it's 14-pound Berkley fluoro, we should be in the money, but we're gonna go check out. We'll see y'all at the pond. Stay tuned.
Later that same evening.
All right, guys, we are on the boat. And I'm going to try to give you as much value about this, or information about this thing, as I possibly can. This is the Abu Garcia Vengeance combo. I wish I would have brought my black reel to compare it to this one. I mean, it's basically the same platform. It's just this reel is gray and mine's a little bit metallic with like some sparkles on the side of it, and this one doesn't have that. So, yeah. And then it's pre-spooled Berkley line. I think that's going to be my main thing that I would be worried about with this combo is like, it's spool Berkley line, but what grade of Berkley line is it? Fluoro, I'm not sure if that sign on the side said if it's fluoro mono. It looks like fluoro just off first look, but we're about to test it out. We're gonna put this thing to the test and see if it's worth any count, which going into it, initial thoughts would be yes. It's an $80 combo. I think I paid $82 with tax and all, so I mean, that's not a beginner. I feel like this is top tier of beginner combos. Like, it's not too beginner, but it's not like intermediate. I'd still say it's should be classed as a beginner combo. But we're gonna see how it performs. This line doesn't feel too bad. I'm not sure if that's fluoro or mono or what it is, but we're gonna figure all that out here in a second. Kind of looks like mono. It has a little bit of like a blue tint to it. I'm sure it's probably a 6:4 to 1. I know it's pretty standard for like beginner stuff with Abu. 6:5 to 1. Ooh, bumped it up a little bit. Then we got two square bulls with it. This water is a little bit dirtier than the last time I was out here, so I'm not sure if I want to start off with the bluegill or the white. I feel like the white might be a little bit better option because I know there's a whole bunch of shad in here. There's also a whole bunch of bluegill though, so we're gonna try to, this is all we have. This is literally the only rod we have. We did bring our tackle box just in case we catch fish on both of these and we can switch it up a little bit, or if these just aren't working at all. Today's really more about the rod than it is about these baits. These are kind of bigger square bulls and I like to fish in most ponds, but I will say it is cool that they added these in here. In most ponds, I feel like they probably run a little bit too deep, especially if it's summertime now. There's probably grass in a lot of the ponds that you're fishing. So honestly, if this was my dream kit, I would have put a size down from these in the kits. Even though they're a little bit smaller, you might catch a little bit smaller fish on them, but
they don't run as deep. That's my main problem. Like these are fine as is, but I just don't like a crankbait that's running too deep. But we're gonna figure that out today. So we're gonna start off with that one. We're gonna leave this one in our pack. This is gonna be our little tackle box for today. We're gonna thread our line through our reel. And also, we probably should take the tag off of it. For $70 for this combo, I don't see any red flags yet. I did not set that at all. That does not count, guys. I didn't like try to tune it or anything. I just went straight for a cast. That's one thing out of the box. You cannot be upset if you backlash your reel because you have to set your brakes and everything. First cast, I did not do that. So we're gonna get this out because it looks like it'll come out nice for us. This isn't a casting tutorial by any means, but what I like to do when I first start or whenever I first get a combo, I just set my brakes all the way to the max because that pretty much guarantees that you are not going to backlash it. The only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm sure there might be some of y'all that this might be your first combo you ever bought or you want to buy. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up on how to cast it. Out of the box, your lure is probably going to fall a little bit. Whenever you click your button, you click it. If it's not falling, all you want to do is just loosen this little knob right here until it slowly falls. So whenever you have it perfect, you should be able to click this button, take your thumb off the spool, and your lure should barely fall like that. Then your drag, I like to, so this really doesn't have anything to affect your casting. So all this means is if you catch a fish or if you hook it on the log, whenever you pull, how much line is like how heavy is the fish gonna have to pull line off of your reel? So that was something a really big learning curve for me. When I first got a bait caster, I was like, I would try to adjust my drag if I was backlashing it, and the drag really didn't even have anything to do with it. But we're gonna check ours right here. You don't want your drag to be super tight because if you hook into a big one, you're probably gonna break it off, which that's something you have to start catching bigger fish to understand. For a while, I didn't understand that concept. You know, my drag was always just tightened all the way down. Then you hook into a big fish, you can't pull any drag, and then you snap it off. So I always like to loosen my drag to where I can give it like what I call an 8-pounder pull or a 5-pounder pull, and you know, it'll give a little bit of drag, but that's just kind of based on where you're fishing. This thing's nice. I mean, first 3 casts, normally I feel like your line has to get wet a little bit before you can really sling it. So I'm gonna try to wet my line and then back off my brakes a little bit, see how far I can cast this thing out. But look, there's no backlash in that, which I mean, we're casting it pretty far. We're not casting it a mile or anything like that, but I mean, for a beginner combo or to add to your arsenal so far, I am impressed. I would buy this any day of the week for $80. And I mean, really, you're paying $60 and then you're paying $20 for the 2 baits. Compare this to like a Black Max combo. The Black Max combo is like $59 at Walmart. And you didn't get baits with it. Then you get a little bit faster reel too, but I haven't caught any fish on it yet. So we're gonna try to catch some fish. This reminds me of when I first started bass fishing, guys, because I had Abu Garcia Black Max with probably like 12-pound mono on it, and the mono had like a little bit of a blue tint to it. I'm pretty sure this is mono on here, 14 pounds. So I mean, this is basically how I started fishing. The only difference is I started with a fluke. I started with a white fluke with a chartreuse tail, and I thought I was Bill Dance out there catching those small bass. Oop, there's one. Oh, small. Oh, yes, let's go. First fish already. Not big, small one. Oh, dude, we hooked him in the back. Look at that. Sorry, dude. Sorry, bro. But hey, that is our first bass. Look at that. All right, so I hooked him right here, but it looks like he's been hooked in the fin before. Dude, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to eat it with your mouth. You don't eat it with your dorsal fin. Come on now, you're smarter than that. Have a good day. Don't get eaten by big bass, because he might not be the brightest. All right, so that's fish number 1. We're gonna try to catch a bigger one. I like to catch, you know, like one that has a little bit of size, one that could eat that one for our first one. That was quick. I honestly wasn't expecting to catch one that quick. It's kind of one of those spots you pass through and just try. You might catch one, you might not. Ooh, guys, I wasn't expecting to catch that fish on my in that corner down there. Normally, that's just kind of one of those spots where you try out. You think it looks good, but nothing ever really comes off of it. But yeah, we're gonna fish this crankbait around a little bit. I said we were gonna catch just one on it before we switched. I think this thing dives kind of deep. I'll have to find another pack to see. Okay, 5.5. We're gonna say it dives 5.5 feet. Because sometimes the number on the bottom of the crankbait means how deep it dives, and then other times they'll put feet behind it if it means how deep it dives, but sometimes the numbers match. Like it'll dive 5 to 7 feet or something like that. So we're gonna say this is like a 5 to 7 foot diving crankbait. But anyway, we're gonna try to catch one that could eat that last one on this crankbait, and then we are gonna switch over to that bluegill color. But this water over here is a little dirty, a little stained, so this white will probably do a little bit better, at least on this side of the pond. Where the water's just a little bit lighter, we'll probably do a little bit better on that bluegill. But so yeah guys, so far I don't have any problems. The only thing I will say is this line just has a little bit of memory in it whenever you cast it out, which I mean you really can't hate on that too much. Sorry, something just blew up back here behind us, so I had to turn around and look at that. But it's not like memory on your grandpa's spinning combo that he's had sitting in the garage for 60 years. It's more of a like memory. It's been on a hot truck, and then it's been on a hot Walmart truck, and it sat in the cold store, and it's just caught a little, oh, we just got wrecked right there. We need to cast back in there. Yeah, the memory's not bad. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure we'll be able to cast it out here pretty soon. But we just got hit so good right here. When I say like it didn't almost take the rod out of my hand or anything, but it was I feel like he had some weight behind it. I don't know if that was no, that was a fish. Something just swam off over the top of the crankbait, something small. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out here probably on the outside of this grass, because this grass kind of is on a little transition bank. That's what I call it, at least. I think I said that in the last video. But so this bank is to this point right here. On the other side of the point it's flat, then over here it's flat, and this is like the point of the bank, and it drops off fairly quick. So I always think there's going to be fish there, or I've always at least caught one off of it. So just a little tip, you know, look for differences in the bank. If you're fishing a pond like this pond is pretty standard all the way around, but like anywhere that looks different in the pond, I don't care if it's a bubble that looks suspicious coming out of the water, cast at that bubble. Because in the last video we caught a big one on a frog casting at a bubble, or casting at bubbles. If it just even, like, I'm to the point now where it even smells different in a certain area, I'll fish that a little bit longer. Because I'm telling you can smell fish. You can smell the bass. And guys, this is your first Larry Melton video watching. I promise I give better tips than that, but I am being very serious about that. That's just one of those subconscious things. Like the more you fish, I feel like the better your fishing instincts will get, and you'll kind of be able to, it's weird to say, but you'll almost be able to feel like I'm gonna catch a fish right here. And sometimes you just say it, but other times you just know it's gonna happen. It seems like it happens at least 75% of the time, or you catch one in that general area. And it might not be on the same cast where you have the idea, but at least in that areas, sometimes there'll be a fish. All right, so if I had to rate this thing, castability for a $70 combo out of 10, I'm giving it a 10. I haven't tuned it. My brakes are still turned all the way down. I just casted probably 30 yards or so. Oh, that's a big one. That is a big one. Dude, that's a big one. Actually, stay down, stay down. Did I hook him in the head? What is that? Oh, I hooked him sideways. That's why it felt so big. Oh, dude, that's the second one I've hooked like that. All right, fish catch capability, I'm gonna give it a 3 right now, because I've hooked 2 on the top of the head. I have not hooked one in the mouth yet. That is crazy. What is that? All right, still not a big one, but I mean, it is fish number 2. It's like they're just kind of swiping at it. And the 2 I have caught have been kind of shallow. I try to fish a little bit deep, so I kind of skip over these smaller guys, because I like catching the big ones, you know. But when he first ate it, I mean, he was coming through the water sideways, so that probably had a lot to do with it. But I was like, oh yeah, this is him. This is that 10-pounder we were just talking about, baby. But castability, gotta give it a 10, because I've been sitting down. I feel like I can zip it pretty much wherever I want it to be. If I want it to be in this little crack right here, there's a stick right there. Let's go back here. Like, that's a few inches from the bank, so I feel like you can pretty much sling this thing wherever you want it to go, even in a tree. Let's see what else. Durability, really can't say that yet. I've probably cast it about 50 times since I've been out here. It's really not enough to say like, oh, it's super durable or anything like that. But, I mean, it feels well made. There's no like wobble in the handles out of the box. Like, even when you hold the spool, it's not wobbling or anything like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it feels like you get what you pay for. You know, I feel like everybody has a different definition of that. It's not, by any means, it's not a $600 combo, but I would take this and save my $520. I'd rather have this one any day of the week over a $600 combo, just for everyday fun fishing. You know, if you're fishing tournaments and you're doing decent in the tournaments, I'm not gonna tell you to go pick this one up. But if you just want to add one to your arsenal, then also, if you don't want the rod, I'd tell you just to check out the regular Vengeance reel. I'm not sure if Walmart still has it. I know they did a special on them. They were like $30 during Christmas time. So, because I know sometimes you might want a 7'6" rod or something like that. You might just want the reel. So they do make this rod in like an all black, and I know Walmart carries it. I think it's honestly a Walmart exclusive rod, so you might have to check out that online. But so far, I mean, I don't have anything negative. You'll have to catch me once we get done with fishing this evening to see if like there's anything that kind of popped up in between or anything I didn't like as I was using it. But I mean, right now we caught 2 fish on it. It's hard to hate something you caught 2 fish on. All right, guys, we tried to risk it for the biscuit at the end of the day with the big crankbait, but it didn't pay off. We had a okay day. We caught 2 in 2 hours. Can't really be too mad about that. But I'm gonna do a little sit down and talk about this rod, because I know it's probably, I posted a TikTok about it and the TikTok got like 300,000 views. So I know there's a lot of people that probably want to know about this rod. So I want to make sure I give y'all like a good in-depth analysis for a little bit there. I'm not sure if I put in the video or not, but I did fish a jig a little bit just to kind of get like a sensitivity feeling for it. We'll talk here in a second about this combo and what I think about it, if it's worth the $80 or not. I'll be brutally honest with y'all, so stay tuned.
All right, guys, so if I had to compare that combo, or if I had to compare the reel to any other reel that Abu makes that you might have, I would compare it to the Max Pro. The thing I said about the Max Pro when I released that video is that it feels like it's worth more than, it feels like it's a higher dollar reel than what it is. I think the Max Pros were like $80, $90, and it feels like it can compete with like the Zeta or something like that. I feel the same way about that Vengeance. Honestly, it feels a little bit better put together than the black Vengeance reel I have. The baits you get, I mean, those are just kind of 2 gimme baits. Those are going to be 2 baits that you can use pretty much anywhere in the summertime or in the wintertime to catch fish on them. A 6.5 to 1 gear ratio reel is really good for pretty much any application. You know, most beginner combos come with that 6.5 to 1 gear ratio reel or 6.4 to 1. So I think that 6.5 to 1 is going to be good for people that are starting, or if you have like a specific technique that you're wanting to use that combo for. 7 foot medium heavy, that's a standard reel. So really this, I feel like this combo is more for somebody who wants to add another combo to their arsenal or a starter. I think that this thing is still going to be good for a starter. It's a little bit pricier than that Black Max combo would be, but they don't even make the Black Max anymore. Why am I comparing it to that? But I think this is going to be, this is like this summer's version of the Black Max combo for me. That's where my mind's kind of at. I feel like it's just a little bit updated. It's an updated body, updated frame on the reel. The rod's a little bit different from that Black Max rod. It's not as thick and bulky as that other rod was. But I would recommend this combo to somebody that is either getting into bass fishing, or you have one other combo and you're looking to add a second one to your arsenal. You know, it's all about deals, and I feel like this combo for $70 with the 2 packs of baits, I think the baits are really the big deal, because those are 2 quality crankbaits that, you know, when you first start fishing, you buy the cheaper crankbaits, the paint starts coming off, you know, they chip really easy. Those are going to be 2 that you can keep in your tackle box for the next 5 years. So I think that this is going to be for the newcomer to bass fishing, or somebody new to bait casters, or this is going to be for somebody you already have 1 combo, or you already have 2 or 3 combos and you just want to add another one to your arsenal, another do everything combo, good pond hopping combo. This is going to be it for you. I'm gonna start doing that. Fish them hard. Have a great day. See y'all.
Chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes.